Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Brad the Fixologist here. We have some things we're going to look at today. Teemu has sent me a few objects. If you haven't heard of Teemu, they are a website, and also they have an app that you can download and check out. Check the description or the pinned comment for a link where to download the Teemu app. They have free shipping and free returns on all their listings. If something arrives later than expected, they will give you a credit off your purchase. There's a code on your screen that's my dedicated search code. If you type that in the search box on the app, you'll get a $100 coupon bundle, and you'll also be able to find links really easily to all the items shown in today's video. Okay, so they gave me a budget of, I think it was 140 bucks to go shopping on their website, and these are the things that I picked up. We're going to open this box last. We have this pair of pliers. This is going to replace some that I actually broke. I had this pair of pliers, and I broke them, believe it or not. I actually tried to use these on an E string on a guitar, a thick E string, the bottom E string. And I was kind of clipping them out here toward the edge because it was hard to get to, and I broke these things, so I'm replacing those with a new set here. But I want to see how these hold up, and hopefully they hold up better than these things. I've got some washers. I'm always finding myself low on little washers, and these should come in quite handy. I've got lots of screws, but don't have a whole lot of washers, and those were dirt cheap. I couldn't believe how cheap they are, and I thought, why not? This I thought was pretty cool. This is a little bench vise, but it's a very small, like hobbyist bench vise. I've got these little extensions here on my desk that I can mount this thing on. It needs lubrication for sure. I'm going to lubricate all this stuff, but that's a really cute, cool kind of little vise. I would like to have that there because I do a lot of work on like guitar nuts and things like that, and that would be, I think, kind of handy to be able to put like a guitar nut or a saddle or something in there, and to be able to kind of work on it a little bit. Man, that's stiff right there. I honestly don't expect the world with this thing because it was so cheap. It was pretty incredible. I just had to see if it was any good at the price that it was at. And it's not really machined to a close tolerance by any means, I wouldn't say. But it's to a price point, and it kind of does what it says. I like it, man. Okay, so now on to what's in the box.
What's in the box?
It's a tiny hobbyist's belt sander slash grinder slash polishing wheel. Now there are several different ones on Teemu with different little configurations and specs and slightly different layouts. Some of them actually have the polishing wheel fitted on this side and also a grinding wheel fitted on the other side. I need to find a grinding wheel, perhaps fit on this side. We'll see about doing that, or get one that I can screw in over here when I need to use a grinding wheel for the bench. Yeah, man. So I was looking at these. I read some of the reviews, and they were talking about how nice everything seemed to be put together, how nice the bearings were.
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
People were saying they ran pretty smoothly. So you've got a tension spring here that keeps tension on the belt. If you want to change the belt, you just push that down and take this off, and you can change to a different grit or what have you. So this is says that's 600 grit, KX 167. I'm not sure what the size on these were. This one came with a bunch of different grits here, obviously. Size of the belt's a little over 13.5 inches, about 13 3/4 inches around, 1.25 inches wide by 13 3/4 round. All right, I want to plug this thing in. I want to see what kind of noises it makes. Oh, they also send you a polishing compound for your polishing wheel. You can pick up, obviously, whatever polishing compounds you want to pick up and use with the wheel. But yeah, looking at this thing, it looks like it's pretty decently built. It is a DC motor. So it comes with an adapter that adapts it. Let's see. Okay, input, output, 12, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, and 24 volts. And it's got a little selector switch here. 4,000 to 9,000 RPMs. The belt size is 13 by 1 1/5 inch. That. All right, that's at 12 volts on that setting, and that's reverse. Okay, so it will allow for forward and reverse just with the flip of a switch, so that's convenient. Notice one of the bearings is not really making much contact, so it's not really rotating. And that could just be down to the belt itself kind of being, you know, a little bit wonky. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be cool. I do really need to get a grind. I might even have a grinding stone. I'll look and see what I've got. I think I've got a grinding stone I could put on here, but I would definitely recommend you get one of the ones that already has the grinding stone that goes on the other side. That looks like a nicer unit, but like I said, I just didn't have the funds for it this time around to grab one of those. I want to up the voltage. We're at 12 right now. I want to up the voltage as it's running and see what happens. Cool. I mean, it does work. Let's look at my little hammer here. I've got a bunch of marks on the end of it. Let's see if we can maybe get some of those marks out. The middle bit feels nice. And I also wonder if I can vacuum that off with it running. Yep. You know, maybe don't do that if you don't want the hose to end up looking like that, but actually it didn't take off that much. It's not that bad, but it did clean it out. So yeah, man, really cool little unit. I think I can recommend this for sure if you're into doing little hobby stuff. You're working on nuts and saddles a lot, and you're having to sit here and sand, because look, you know, I've got this on my desk stuck here all the time for nuts and saddles, and I come over here and do this by hand, and this is just much nicer if I can do it with this little guy. Right now we're going to go for a drive, and we're going to test out a couple of these car cameras. I took my daughter today horseback riding to her lessons, and I left my really good Stanley coffee cups, and it's about a 15-minute drive away, so I'm going to drive over there, and on the way over I'm going to use one of these. They're fairly inexpensive. I mean, you can pay a lot for a dash cam, and I don't expect the world, but I'm hoping that one of these is going to be passable enough to use, and we're going to test both of them and see which one turns out to be the best. I'll put links and stuff in the description. This has got a smaller display for sure. That one's the larger of the two displays. On the way out we'll test one of these, and on the way back we'll test the other one, and then we'll compare the footage. Okay, so it took me a minute to figure out how these go together. I guess I was just stupid, but for some reason this wasn't sliding on this mount. It actually had a bit of charge on the battery. It's low, but it does come on, and yeah, you can see me there. The mount that goes on the windshield is the same for both of these, so I'll be able to use the same mount. So yeah, let's hook this up and go for a drive. Okay, it's showing it's recording, so I hope that is the case. 32 gigabytes SD card. It's got a micro SD card in there that it comes with, so I'm hoping that there will be enough to record the entire trip. I want to see how long it records too. I'm curious on how long the clips will be and all that stuff. Buckle up, Sweet Pete. Yeah, some of these have a wire that will run to the back for a rear facing camera. I did not opt for those because I wanted to get two different ones so I could compare a couple different ones. I thought it might make a slightly more interesting video to compare a couple different ones. it looks like, I mean, heading into the sun right here, it looks like the picture might be slightly blown out. Anyway, it'd be kind of nice to have for stuff like this, you know, look, like just about an accident right there. That guy's trying to get over. That guy already had gotten over. I think, you know, there's other dash cams too that will show your speed and all that stuff. Calculate all that. This one does not do that, but you could, if you had to, like in court, you could calculate the time it took you to get from point A to point B, and given that information, you could easily calculate your speed and stuff if you had to do that. You know, prove you weren't going a certain speed or something. But it would just be good to have that sort of evidence. Alright, so now we're not facing the sun anymore, so I'm presuming the picture is going to be better. And I hope they're still open, because if they're not, I'm going to have to be without my favorite coffee cup for a whole week. I really don't want to be without my favorite coffee cup for a whole week.
Wait.
My beloved Stanley, yeah.
Wait. Let's pretend that we're like superhero rescuing the coffee cup from the horses.
We're gonna go in like this. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, I can get in. We can get in. Yeah, Boomer's right there.
All getting in trouble.
Oh, it is missing. Maybe they took it to the office though. Let me see.
Make sure to close the door. Okay, the mission is solved. We have found the missing coffee cup.
Success.
Don't drink out of it.
I'm not going to drink out of it. Although it'd probably still be good because it's a Stanley. It's a Stanley. Alright, whoa, and that's weird. I'm getting some kind of weird lines on this camera too.
Yeah,
What's going on with that? Yeah, that's really... I'm going to pull over actually and see if I can sort that out.
Pull over.
I'm gonna stop right over here and see if I can sort that out. See if I can figure out why it's doing that. It says no parking anytime, but I'm not gonna abide by that. Okay, yeah, that's terrible. Pink truck. Who paints their oh, it's for like cancer research or whatever. Big bad truck. Big pink truck. Okay guys, so that's what the camera looks like during the day. Now we're going to check out a little bit of night driving here. We'll start with the larger camera. You can see there's kind of a lot of glare, but that's mainly because I didn't really clean my windshield before I did any of this footage, and I should have. One thing that it says on these cameras on Teemu's website is that they have night vision, but I did not find this to really be true either with the inside or the outside cameras on either one of them. It looks to me like they are dependent entirely on the ambient lighting. I wish that the false advertising wasn't there on little details like that, but it seems like that is the case on these. I wasn't able to find any setting for that. I did go through the menus, and I did find out finally how to get into the menus. You have to press the menu buttons and hold them. The larger camera was actually harder to find out how to get into the menus. It was just really weird. And I still am not sure quite how I've managed to finally get into the menu for the larger camera here. But clearly, the internal picture quality, the win goes to the smaller camera. That internal camera is way better than the one that's clearly broken. There's something wrong with it. It's got some lines or something going on. I don't know if the sensor is screwed up or if it's reading wrong or what. I don't know which side of the equation the fault lies, but it definitely has some sort of fault. And also it's in black and white regardless of what you do. There's no way to really change that. So it's always going to be in black and white for the internal camera for this larger camera. I found that the night shots for the larger camera were superior to the smaller camera. They tended to have more information to the point where they could render more color, which was cool. Both of these cameras have the ability to shoot on loop or with motion detection, so they won't shoot until they detect a motion. I just set them to loop so that they automatically come on whenever I start the car, and then they'll loop. Every 5 minutes, they write a new file. You can change it from 1 minute to, I think, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I set it for the longest files because I don't want to have to deal with that many files if I'm doing some editing. Like if I'm going to use these files for like garbage picking or something like that, I want to be able to just grab 3 or 4 files instead of, 30 files. It's just much, much easier to deal with. Both of these also have a gravity sensor, so they will sense when there is an impact of some kind that causes a sudden acceleration of 2G, 3G, 5G. I believe are the selections for both of these, if I recall correctly. But you can go in and set the setting to like low impact, medium impact, or high impact, where it will automatically save those files that it's currently recording and not overwrite them. So that, if you get in an accident, you're sitting on the side of the road, you forget to stop your camera, it's not just going to sit there and overwrite the accident that you just had. Which is probably a good thing. So I set it at the medium setting for that. Probably should have set it at the lowest setting. I'll probably go back in and set those at the lowest setting so it'll hold those. But the problem is if it detects something that was not an impact, it won't overwrite that file. And then eventually you'll get to the point where it saves files needlessly, and it won't have room to write. So I don't want that either. So it's kind of a balance, I guess. Overall, man, I have to say these cameras for the price, dude, because you're talking about like $18 to $25 for these cameras, that kind of price range. And, for that price range, they're perfectly acceptable. I have no complaints at that price. And I definitely think if you do not have a camera in your car, to defend yourself against false accusations by police, or whether it's false accusations by another driver, or you just want to see, what's going on, you definitely should have one of these. So, all right, guys. So final assessment on these two cameras. Which one do you buy? I think it kind of depends on what you're planning on using the camera for. Like if you want to do vloggy type things where it's showing just your face inside of your car and you can just kind of talk to the camera and do vlogs or whatever, then I would probably get this one because it has a better internal camera. Yes, I already did think about whether or not I could use this internal camera with this external camera, but no, they're not compatible. This one has a different hookup. It has like the 3.5 millimeter hookup, whereas this one is an HDMI camera. The external camera, however, on this is very passable in both daylight and at night, which makes this really great for stuff that I do, which is, I kind of drive around the neighborhood sometimes and I'll put up video of my trash picking exploits. For that purpose, I will probably use this camera in my car. And if you're just wanting something that's overall gonna help you in court, have decent video and everything, you probably couldn't go wrong with both, but the slight edge goes to this one. It is a bit more expensive. I think this one was about 18 bucks, but I did find it after the fact, after I had already ordered mine. I went back on Teemu and I found this, I think it was like 13 in some places. It just depends on where you look, and whether or not that's the exact same model as this, you just never know. It looked the same. But anyway, links for both of these will be down in the description if you want to check these out. Between the two, if it's me, I'm going with this one because I don't care what my face looks like.
It's beautiful.
Both have pretty similar audio, surprisingly passable audio. This one was picking up a lot of road noise, I noticed, when I was on the interstate. So this one probably has the edge in audio as well as external video. If you get one of these and you're trying to mount it, they're kind of difficult to mount when you first get them. So I found like the little mounting shoe right here. If I were to get a screwdriver, kind of turn the screwdriver over inside this mounting shoe and sort of like scrape out some of the material that's in there, like there's some flashing or something from the factory. So just pick out that flashing with something kind of semi-sharp and you'll have an easier time mounting these. All right, so that'll do it for this video on this Teemu haul. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. For now, we will see y'all later.